Oruç Reis was an Ottoman bey of Algiers and beylerbey of the West Mediterranean, and the elder brother of Hayreddin Barbarossa. He was born on the Ottoman island of Midilli and was killed in battle against the Spanish at Tlemcen in the Ottoman Eyalet of Algeria. He became known as Baba Oruç or Baba Aruj when he transported large numbers of Morisco and Jewish refugees from Spain to North Africa. He was known in folk etymology in Europe as Barbarossa. Background: his father was a Turk or an Albanian. His mother was a local Christian Greek woman from Midilli, the widow of an Orthodox priest. Jacob Arga took part in the Ottoman conquest of Lesbos from the Genoese in 1462, and as a reward, was granted the fief of the Bonova village in the island. He married a local Christian Greek woman from Midilli, the widow of an Orthodox priest named Katerina, and they had 2 daughters and 4 sons, Achille, Oruç, and Ilyas. Jacob became an established potter and purchased a boat to trade his products. The 4 sons helped the father with his business, but not much is known about the daughters. At first Oruç helped with the boat, while Achille helped with pottery. Early career: all 4 brothers became seamen, engaged in marine affairs and international sea trade. Oruç was the first brother to be involved in seamanship, soon joined by the youngest brother Ilyas. His heir initially helped the father in the pottery business, but later obtained a ship of his own and also began a career at sea. Achille, the eldest, remained on Midilli and was involved with the financial affairs of the family business. The other 3 brothers initially worked as sailors, but then turned privateers in the Mediterranean, counteracting the privateering of the Knights Hospitaller of the island of Rhodes. Oruç and Ilyas operated in the Levant, between Anatolia, Syria and Egypt, while his heir operated in the Aegean Sea and based his operations mostly in Thessaloniki. Oruç was a very successful seaman. He also learned to speak Italian, Spanish, French, Greek and Arabic in the early years of his career. While returning from a trading expedition in Tripoli, Lebanon, he and Ilyas were attacked by a galley of the Knights Hospitaller. Ilyas was killed in the fight, and Oruç was wounded. The father's boat was captured, and Oruç was taken prisoner and detained in the Knights' Bodrum castle for nearly 3 years. Upon learning the location of his brother, his heir went to Bodrum and managed to help Oruç escape. Oruç the Corsair. Oruç later went to Antalya, where he was given 18 galleys by Sezard Korkut, an Ottoman prince and governor of the city, and charged with fighting against the Knights Hospitaller who inflicted serious damage on Ottoman shipping and trade. In the following years, when Sezard Korkut became governor of Manisa, he gave Oruç a larger fleet of 24 galleys at the port of Izmir and ordered him to participate in the Ottoman naval expedition to Apulia in the Kingdom of Naples, where Oruç bombarded several coastal forts and captured 2 ships. On his way back to Lesbos, he stopped at Euboea and captured 3 galleons and another ship. Reaching Midilli with these captured vessels, Oruç learned that Sezard Korkut, brother of the new Ottoman Sultan, had fled to Egypt in order to avoid being killed because of succession disputes, a common practice at the time in the House of Osman. Fearing trouble due to his well-known association with the Ottoman prince in exile, Oruç sailed to Egypt where he met Sezard Korkut in Cairo and managed to get an audience with the Mamluk Sultan Qansur al-Ghari, who gave him another ship and charged him to raid the coasts of Italy and the islands of the Mediterranean that were controlled by Christian powers. After passing the winter in Cairo, he set sail from Alexandria and operated along the coasts of Liguria and Sicily. In 1503, Oruç managed to seize 3 more ships and made the island of Jerba his new base, thus moving his operations to the western Mediterranean. His heir joined Oruç at Jerba. In 1504 the 2 brothers asked Abu Abdullah Muhammad Hamis, Sultan of Tunisia from the Beni ISNI-HAF's dynasty, for permission to use the strategically located port of La Goulette for their operations. They were granted this right, with the condition of leaving 1/3 of the booty to the Sultan. Oruç, in command of small galleots, captured 2 much larger papal galleys near the island of Elba. Later, near Lipari, the 2 brothers captured a Sicilian warship, the Cavalleria, with 380 Spanish soldiers and 60 Spanish knights from Aragon on board, who were on the way from Spain to Naples. In 1505 they raided the coasts of Calabria. These accomplishments increased their fame, and they were joined by a number of other well-known Muslim corsairs, including Kurtoglu. In 1508 they raided the coasts of Liguria, particularly Diano Marina. In 1509, Ishak also left Midilli and joined his brothers at La Goulette. The fame of Oruç increased when, between 1504 and 1510, he transported Muslim Mudéjars from Christian Spain to North Africa. His efforts of helping the Muslims of Spain in need and transporting them to safer lands earned him the honorific name Baba Oruç, which eventually, due to the similarity in sound, evolved in Spain, Italy and France into Barbarossa. In 1510, the 3 brothers raided Cape Passaro in Sicily and repulsed a Spanish attack on Bugey, Oran and Algiers. In August 1511 they raided the areas around Reggio Calabria in southern Italy. In August 1512 the exiled ruler of Bugey invited the brothers to drive out the Spaniards, and during the battle Oruç lost his left arm. This incident earned him the nickname Gummerskull, in reference to the silver prosthetic device which he used in place of his missing limb. Later that year the 3 brothers raided the coasts of Andalusia in Spain, capturing a galleot of the Lomellini family of Genoa who owned the Tabarca island in that area. They subsequently landed on Minorca and captured a coastal castle, and then headed towards Liguria and captured 4 Genoese galleys near Genoa. The Genoese sent a fleet to liberate the ships, but the brothers captured the flagship as well. After capturing a total of 23 ships in less than a month, the brothers sailed back to La Goulette. They built 3 more galleots and a gunpowder production facility. In 1513, they captured 4 English ships on the way to France, raided Valencia where they captured 4 more ships, and then headed for Alicante and captured a Spanish galley near Malaga. In 1513 and 1514 the 3 brothers engaged Spanish squadrons on several other occasions and moved to the new base in Cherchell, east of Algiers. In 1514, with 12 galleots and 1,000 Turks, they destroyed 2 Spanish fortresses at Bugey, and when a Spanish fleet under the command of Miguel de Garia, Viceroy of Majorca, arrived for assistance, they headed towards Ceuta and raided that city before capturing Gel in Algeria, which was under Genoese control. They later captured Mardia in Tunisia. Afterwards they raided the coasts of Sicily, Sardinia, the Balearic Islands and the Spanish mainland, capturing 3 large ships there. In 1515 they captured several galleons, a galley and 3 barks at Majorca. Still in 1515 Oruç sent precious gifts to the Ottoman Sultan Selim I, who in return sent him 2 galleys and 2 swords embellished with diamonds. In 1516, joined by Kurtoglu, the brothers besieged the castle of Elba, before heading once more towards Liguria where they captured 12 ships and damaged 28 others. Ruler of Algiers. In 1516 the 3 brothers succeeded in liberating Gel and Algiers from the Spaniards, but eventually assumed control over the cities and surrounding region, forcing the previous ruler Abu Hamou Musa III of the Beni Ziyad dynasty to flee. The local Spaniards in Algiers sought refuge in the island of Penon near Algiers and asked Emperor Charles V, King of Spain, to intervene. But the Spanish fleet failed to force the brothers out of Algiers. After consolidating his power and declaring himself the new Sultan of Algiers, Oruç sought to enhance his territory inlands and took Miliana, Mahdia and Tequenes. He became known for attaching sails to cannons for transport through the deserts of North Africa. In 1517 the brothers raided Capo Limiti and later the island of Capo Rizzuto in Calabria. Algiers joins the Ottoman Empire. For Oruç, the best protection against Spain was to join the Ottoman Empire, his homeland and Spain's main rival. For this he had to relinquish his title of Sultan of Algiers to the Ottomans. He did this in 1517 and offered Algiers to the Ottoman Sultan. The Sultan accepted Algiers as an Ottoman Sanjak, appointed Oruç as the Bey of Algiers and beylerbey of the West Mediterranean, and promised to support him with janissaries, galleys and cannons. Final engagements and death of Oruç and Ishak. The Spaniards ordered Abu Zayn, whom they had appointed as the new ruler of Tlemcen and Oran, to attack Oruç by land. But Oruç learned of the plan and preemptively struck against Tlemcen, capturing the city and executing Abu Zayn in the fall of Tlemcen. The only survivor of Abu Zayn's dynasty was Sheikh Ahmad, who escaped to Oran and called for Spain's assistance. In May 1518, Emperor Charles V arrived at Oran and was received there by Sheikh Ahmad and the Spanish governor of the city, Diego de Córdoba, Marquis of Comines, who commanded a force of 10,000 Spanish soldiers, joined by thousands of Bedouins. The Spaniards marched overland on Tlemcen, where Oruç and Ishak awaited them with 1,500 Turkish and 5,000 Moorish soldiers. They defended Tlemcen for 20 days, but were eventually killed in combat by the forces of Garcia d'Atinio. The last remaining brother, Oruç Reis, inherited his brother's place, his name and his mission. Legacy. Oruç established the Ottoman presence in North Africa, which lasted 4 centuries, de facto until the loss of Algeria to France in 1830, of Tunisia to France in 1881, of Libya to Italy in 1912 and de jure until the official loss of Egypt and Sudan to the United Kingdom in 1914. After the Ottoman Empire joined World War I on the side of the Central Powers, the Republic of Turkey officially renounced the remaining disputed Turkish rights in some territories of Egypt and Sudan with the Treaty of Lausanne. In 1923, 3 submarines and TCG Oruç Reis of the Turkish Navy have been named after Oruç. Barbarossa was the influence behind the character Captain Hector Barbossa from the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. It was revealed that co-star Johnny Depp played a decisive part in providing the name. His last name is both a pun on the surname of Spanish origin, Barbossa, and is based on Barbarossa, the Ottoman privateer. The word is a combination of the Italian words barba and rosso.